അയാൾ നമ്മുടെ മാനേജറിയൽ എക്കണോമിക്സിന്റെ തേർഡ് വീഡിയോയിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ മുങ്ങിയതാണ് കുറെ തിരക്കായിട്ട്. സോ നമുക്ക് ഇന്നത്തോടെ എക്കണോമിക്സ് തീർക്കാം, എന്തായാലും തീർക്കുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ അന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ട് പോയത് തിയറി ഓഫ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടായിരുന്നു. സോ നമുക്ക് ഇന്ന് തിയറി ഓഫ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, let's start with a theory of production. The theory of production simply explains how inputs are used to produce outputs. In other words, how we convert raw materials and resources into finished goods or services. അതന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. In managerial economics, this theory helps managers understand how to combine resources efficiently to maximize output or minimize cost. Okay, so we can simply put it studies how firm produce and how output changes when input change. Okay, and now production depends on four main factors: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, or organization. Land means natural resources used in public production. Labor means human efforts, physical or mental. Capital means like fixed asset, machinery, tools, equipment, or infrastructure. Entrepreneurship or organization, it is combines other factors and takes risk. The one who brings all other factors together. Okay. In managerial economics, we mainly look at how these inputs affects output and cost. Okay. Next is production function. We express these relationship mathematically as like this. Output. The Q means output. L means labor. K means capital. F means functional relationship. So it simply means output depends on the amount of labor and capital used. For example, if 5 workers and 2 machines produces 50 units and 6 workers with 2 machines produces 60 units. So you can literally find the difference. That's your production function in action. Okay. So next, let's divide production decision based on time period. There are short run and long run. And for short run, at least one input is fixed, usually capital, and only variable inputs can be changed, like labor. Law of variable proportions applies here. ഈ law of variable proportion എന്താണ് നമ്മൾ നെക്സ്റ്റ് പറയും. And then long run production. All inputs are variable. Firms can change plant size, technology, and labor. Returns to scale applies here. Okay. നമുക്കിനി നെക്സ്റ്റ് ലോ ഓഫ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ എന്താണെന്ന് നോക്കാം. There are two major laws. Law of variable proportions. The first one is law of variable proportions, like short run. Okay, also called the law of diminishing returns. It says when we increase one input, say labor, while keeping other fixed, output increases at diminishing rate after a certain point. These are three stages. Increasing returns, output rises at an increasing rate. Diminishing returns, output rises but at a slow rate. Negative returns, output starts decreasing, actually falling. You can imagine this like initially more workers help production, but too many workers in limited space, it's an inefficiency, right? Next is return to scale. It's like a long run. This measures what happened to output when all inputs are increased proportionately. Types increasing return to scales. Output increases more than proportionately. Constant returns to scale. Output increases proportionately. Decreasing returns to scale. output increases less than proportionately. For example, if doubling labor and capital increases output more than double, right? It is increasing returns to say scale. So നമ്മൾ ഈ ഷോർട്ട് ഫോമുകളൊക്കെ ചിലപ്പോൾ ചോദിക്കാൻ ചാൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. വാട്ട് ഇസ് IRS, CRS ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ മാനേജറിയൽ എക്കണോമിക്സ് അങ്ങനത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്. സോ അതൊന്ന് നോക്കി വെക്കണം. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇസ് ഐസോക്വാന്റ് ആൻഡ് ഐസോപോസ്റ്റ്. Now, two tools managers use in decision making. Isoquant shows all combination of labors and capital that produces the same output, like a contour line in geography. Some heights but different points, same heights. Okay. Next is isopost line. Shows all combinations of labor and capital that goes the same. Then is optimal combination. The point where isoquant is standard tangent to isopost. It least cost combination of output. Okay. Next is importance of theory of production. Let's wrap this part with why it matters. Okay. Resources efficiency. It use inputs optimally, helps use inputs optimally. Okay. Cost minimization, combine labor and capital wisely. And then production planning. It helps decides plan size and technology. Pricing and profit decision. Output affects supply and pricing. Then managerial decision making. Guides planning, expansions and automation. Okay. So our next topic is pricing policy and practices. Pricing policy means the guidelines or strategy a firm uses to fix the price of its products. Pricing practices are the method or technique used to apply that policy. Okay. Price is crucial because it affects demand, revenue, market positions, and profitability. Next is objective of pricing policies. Let's look at why firms set prices in certain way. So the first point is profit maximization. This is the main goal, earn maximum profit. Sales revenue maximization increases market share. Market penetration, set low price to attract customers. Market skimming, high price for new or premium products. Survival, in tough times, keep prices low just to sustain. Social and ethical goals, affordable pricing for essential goods. Now, what influences a firm's pricing decision? Cost of production. Minimum price must cover cost. Demand. Higher demand can support higher prices. Price elasticity of demand. ഇത് നമ്മൾ മുന്നേ പറഞ്ഞു. If demand is elastic, be careful with price increase. Competition. Monopoly versus competitive market. Government regulations, tax, price ceiling, subsidies, etc. Firms' objectives. Firms' objectives, profit survival or market share. Then product life cycle, intro, growth, maturity, decline, and all. So next, market condition, which is like inflation trend, consumer behavior, etc. Next is pricing methods or practices. First is post-based pricing. Post plus pricing means price equal to post plus profit. Simple but ignore demands and competition. And next is demand-based market-oriented pricing. Demand-based price skimming is high initial price, lower later. ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ കുറെ വട്ടം പറഞ്ഞാണ്. Penetration pricing, low price to gain market shares. Dynamic pricing, price changes based on demand fluctuation. Next is competition market. Um, Competition based pricing. Pricing set based on competitive pricing includes going rate pricing or below or above competitive pricing. Next is psychological pricing. Um, Uses perceptions to attract consumers, like put 99 instead of 100. നമ്മളുടെ മൊബൈൽ റീചാർജ് ഒക്കെ അങ്ങനെയാണ് 249, 299, like that. Next is discount and allowances, seasonal discounts, and seasonal discounts, trade discounts, cash discounts to boost sales. And next is promotional pricing, special offers, കൊടുക്കുക, bundling, loss leaders, pricing to increase demands. Next is objectives and pricing methods. Profit maximization, we use cost plus target profit. Market penetration, penetration pricing, recovering cost quickly, price skimming. B competition, we use competition based pricing. Attract consumers, we use psychological pricing. Next is importance of pricing policy. The first one is determines revenue and sales profit. Uh, Price directly affects total revenue and profit. Next is control market share. A proper pricing helps maintain or increase market positions. Next is it is helps allocate resources, guides investment in production and marketing, and shapes consumer perception. Price communicates value and quality to consumers. And next is supports long-term strategy. Align with long-term objectives, example, growth, expansion, or survival. Next is legal compliance ensures government and regulatory compliance ensures adherence to law on essential goods. So now let's look at the business cycle. So business cycle is refers to the fluctuation in economic activity over time, like ups and downs in GDP, employment, and production. It's a recurrent but not periodic, meaning it happens again and again, but not in fixed gaps. Samuelson defines it as the recurrent sequence of expansion and contraction in economic activity over a time. Samuel is an economist. His definition is right there. And next is phases of business cycle. There are four main phases. First is expansion or boom. The output, employment, and income rises. High confidence, strong investment. തുടക്കത്തിലൊക്കെ അങ്ങനെയാണ്. Next is peak prosperity. Economy at its highest point. Demand is greater than supply. A price may rise and um, inflation risk. Next is contraction or recession or depression. Output and employment fall, low demand and pessimism. And next is throw or recovery. It is the last stage, lowest point of the cycle. Economy starts recovering again, leads to new expansion. Next is characteristics of business cycle. Fluctuating in nature, it alternating boom and depression. Next is recurrent but irregular. Cycles recur but duration is irregular. Next, it affects all sectors, employment, income, production, and prices. Next is predictable phases, expansion, peak, contraction, growth. These are the predictable phases. Time lag in effects of policy. Effects of economics policies are seen after some time. Okay. Next is causes of business cycle. First is internal costs like fluctuation in investment, overproduction or underconsumption, technological changes, variation in credit, variation in credit and money supply. Next is external or non-economic forces like war, disasters, pandemic like COVID, political or global factors, war, etc. Next is psychological forces like business confidence and consumer expectations. Next is important of business cycle in economics, managerial economics. Production planning, adjust output based on pace. Inventory management means avoid surplus during recession. I'm just explaining in one line this. So the theory portion is not so important. We just have to look at the one word question that could acquire from these topics. And next is investment decision. Time your expansion wisely. Pricing and marketing means match price to demand phases. Employment and wages means manage staff needs carefully. Risk management means prepare for downturn. So together these, so we can summarize it like theory of production means how input make output. Pricing policy means how firms set prices. Business cycle means economics ups and downs. So these three helps managers make smart real world business decisions, balancing production, price and timing. സോ ഇതോടുകൂടി നമ്മുടെ മാനേജറൽ എക്കണോമിക്സിന്റെ എല്ലാ പാർട്ടും കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇനി ഇതിൽ നമുക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് വരുന്ന ഏരിയാസ് നമ്മളുടെ എല്ലാ ടോപ്പിക്കും ഓരോ വട്ടം കവർ ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം ഞാൻ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും. അതിനു മുമ്പ് നമ്മൾ മാനേജ്മെന്റിന്റെ ഒരു 50 MCQ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. നെക്സ്റ്റ് പാർട്ട് അത് അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു. That's all about today's class.